acetate parts are placed in a tumbler with hardwood pegs and polishing compounds. The acetate is smoothed and polished by gentle abrasion. A tiny pocket is carved on each side of the frame front for the hinge. Next, the machine heats the hinge with an electric current and places it in the pocket. The heat melts the acetate, securely setting the hinge. The brand logo features a pyramid comprised of 21 dots. This computer-guided precision drill bores 21 tiny holes into the tip of the temple. A craftsman fills them with translucent epoxy. Once the epoxy dries, the craftsman removes the excess epoxy with a fine sanding disc. This requires applying just the correct amount of pressure, otherwise the acetate can get damaged. Custom-designed equipment tapers each temple to an ergonomic shape. The temple is thicker at the hinge for strength, thinner around the back of the ear for comfort, and thickest at the end, creating weight at the back to offset pressure on the bridge of the nose. Next, a craftsman heats the temple to soften the acetate. The temple is loaded into a wire shooting machine, along with a hinged nickel-silver wire. The machine shoots the wire through the core of the temple. The temple is now adjustable and attachable to the frame front hinge. A craftsman carefully removes excess acetate with a razor blade. Then he smooths out the acetate around the hinge with a heat press. Finally, he covers the hinge with a glue cap. This will shield it from damage throughout the remainder of the production process. A laser engraves the logo, model name, color, and size information on the inside of the temple. Now the glasses are ready to be assembled. A craftsman cuts matching angles on the temples and frame front. He joins the temple and frame front hinges with a nylon-coated screw. The coating tightens the parts together and helps the temples fold and unfold smoothly. A craftsman hand files the angles so there's no gap between temples and frame front. Each frame is hand polished with progressively finer buffing wheels and different polishing compounds. Optical frames are shipped out with temporary plastic lenses, which an optician replaces with the customer's prescription lenses. This mechanical machine cuts the plastic to the shape of the frame's eye holes following a model lens. The temporary lenses have a bevel on their edge, which fits into the lens groove of the frame. From start to finish, it takes 2 weeks to create a single pair of frames. The process takes over 70 different production steps, more than half of which are performed manually.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Ramai yang bertanya, perlukah kita mengambil imunisasi COVID-19? Ya, pasti perlu. Demi melindungi diri dan orang di sekeliling kita. Saya sendiri pasti akan mengambil. Sebelum ini, untuk mengawal wabak COVID-19 daripada terus merebak, kerajaan telah melaksanakan beberapa fasa dan tahap Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan atau PKP di seluruh negara. PKP ini memberi impak kepada keadaan ekonomi dan sosial rakyat. Sebab itu, dengan mengambil vaksin COVID-19 dan program imunisasi negara, kita berharap keadaan Malaysia akan beransur pulih di masa hadapan. Aktiviti ekonomi serta sosial akan semakin bebas dan kembali rancak seperti sebelum ini. Jadi janganlah kita ragu. Imunisasi ini adalah untuk kita melandaikan pandemik COVID-19. Lindung diri, lindung semua. Susahlah hidup macam ni. Apa yang aku buat, langsung tak dihargai. Lalu kau settle. Bukan aku tak nak bayar. Aku sendiri pun tak cukup. Mak aku lagi.
Cik, minta maaf kami tak boleh bantu. Encik perlu jelaskan lebih segera.
Dia jawab. Kami tak boleh lebih sekarang. Awak kena ikut prosedur. Bukan banyak pun yang aku minta. Oi, susah sangat ke nak faham?
Cik perlu jelaskan lebih segera.
Apa yang aku nak buat ni? Penatlah macam ni.
Hello. Terima kasih. Kami sedia membantu. Taman-taman laut Malaysia kaya dengan kepelbagaian biodiversiti marin menjadikannya antara yang terbaik di dunia. Pelbagai kehidupan marin yang unik menggamis kehadiran pelancong ke sini. Kawasan taman laut juga adalah tempat perlindungan dan pembiakan pelbagai spesies kehidupan marin serta pusat pemeliharaan terumbu karang. Ancaman daripada manusia terhadap alam semula jadi menjejaskan ekosistem terumbu karang yang menyerap karbon dioksida serta membekalkan oksigen kepada kehidupan marin yang lain. Marilah kita bersama menjaga taman-taman laut di Malaysia. Taman Laut Khazanah Negara.
Comes to diverse landscapes, this is a place that's tough to beat. In one day, you can hike through a slot canyon, climb into cliff dwellings, wander high country trails in an aspen forest, and walk on the white sands of one of the largest dune fields on Earth. New Mexico is often overlooked as a premium place to explore.
Yeah, I can see this being a cozy little place to hang out. Definitely a good place to get out of the heat.
From the streets of Santa Fe,
It's an artsy little place, so there's a ton of shops with things I can't afford.
to the rugged wilds where outlaws like Billy the Kid ran free.
Unbelievably expansive and beautiful.
I'm about to show you why New Mexico is worth a closer look.
Whoa. All right, I'm having a... Whoa. I'm having a crazy discovery.
If your spirit to explore is drawing you to places with wide open landscapes and sprawling desert views, New Mexico is a state that won't let you down. But for a lot of people bitten by the travel bug, New Mexico is too often a place we fly over on our way to that next great adventure. That's why I've decided to dive in head first to see as much as I can on a 5-day road trip through some of New Mexico's top destinations and a few spots that are off the beaten path. Base camp for the start of this one is Santa Fe. In addition to being the capital of New Mexico, Santa Fe holds its own as a top travel hotspot. The downtown plaza section of Santa Fe is home to a vibrant art and shopping scene, and it's here you'll find some of the best cuisine in the West, but is on the ancestral lands of the Cochiti Pueblo.